It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. The YouTube streets is talking right now. For those of you who haven't heard the news, the assailant who shanked Tory Lanez 14 times has been identified. And he's part of the Mexican cartel. He has priors. He's there as a lifer on extended stay. He got an additional 6 years for attacking another inmate. And that's the cover story that we're getting. But in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, Tory Lanez was supposed to be a blood sacrifice. The attempt failed, and he survived. See, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get stabbed 14 times unless somebody's trying to take you out for good. Perhaps the labels was trying to line him up for the insurance money. Not to mention the way mainstream media is covering the story, they keep reinforcing sympathy towards Meg Thee Stallion. Meanwhile, Tory Lanez is in a hospital fighting for his life. One of his lungs collapsed, and he narrowly escaped with his life from the attack. Now, we got to get into this because, ladies and gentlemen, there's some foul play going on that nobody really wants to speak on. Now, in case you all don't know what it's like in prison, it's all about race. It's all about nationality. You have to stick to your own kind. And in California, it's definitely more about race than gangs. And the Mexicans stick together, the blacks stick together, the Aryan Nation, so on and so forth. So what essentially is happening right now, the California prison is in an uproar because not only have a high profile person been stabbed, but you have a person who is of the diaspora who has been stabbed by a Mexican cartel member. So right now in that California facility is up. A lot of people are talking. There's a lot going on in the prison, and I'm going to tell you, it's a lot deeper than what meets the eye. Everybody is believing that this is just some isolated event that took place. Well, I'm here to tell you that Tory Lanez has been a target of a blood sacrifice. And this was a failed ritual. And he wasn't supposed to make it out of that situation. But he did. Now, there's been a conspiracy to take Tory Lanez out ever since he used NFTs to sell his own songs to his fans. And he found a way to bypass all of the streaming services. He found out a way to make his fans make money as well as make money for himself. He cut out the middleman. Tory cut out the middleman, and he bragged about it publicly. So they sent the succubus near him to bait him into a situation in which he could not get out of. And that succubus being Meg Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez's entire case was doomed from the start. And I want you all to hear what Tory Lanez has to say. the things that was going on during his trial that the general public are ignoring. Now, let's go there. And we're going to jump right on X. Follow me on X if you haven't followed me, brothers and sisters. Follow me at Nubreed Global. Let's talk about Tory Lanez and what's going on, right? Because y'all got to understand how far the tentacles of the industry go, first and foremost. And I want everybody joining the broadcast to hit the like button. Don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. Let's go. 4 contributors on this suspected. Hold on, this volume is a little bit low. So let me crank it up a notch for y'all. Let's go. 4 contributors on this suspected gun. 90% contributor on this gun is a male. And the rest of the percentages of this gun are 2 females and another male. None of those 4 people are my DNA. So I am 100% excluded, not inconclusive like they said when I was in trial. I'm 100% excluded from this gun when it comes to DNA. My fingerprints are 100% excluded from the magazine, from the gun, from the bullets, from any. So what Tory Lanez essentially is saying is there's no DNA linked to him firing a weapon at Meg Thee Stallion whatsoever, at all. Let's go. Thing that has to do with this gun. Cedars-Sinai Hospital, with the help of LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, for those who don't understand the abbreviation. Now, he's calling out the Los Angeles Police Department, which is known to be crooked and corrupted. Let's keep it a buck. They've been corrupted since the early 90s death row days. The LAPD next to the NYPD, you know, it's hard to argue who's the worst, right? But nonetheless, Tory Lanez is claiming that, hey, there's some dirty work going on. Now, the LAPD are often connected to the MS-13s, the Blood Gang, the Crips. They're connected and plugged in with the gangs. And nothing happens unless, you know, a lot of the times the LAPD give the green light. Let's just be 100 about that. They the biggest gang in the city. A lot of corruption going on, but nonetheless, let's stick to what he's talking about. Let's get back to it. Excluded from the magazine, from the gun, from the bullets, from anything that has to do with this gun. Cedars-Sinai Hospital, with the help of LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, for those who don't understand the abbreviation, together, they have put on my discovery that we have lost the bullet fragments. Well, if you lost the bullet fragments, then you can't even attach this gun to the alleged bullets that allegedly hit the victim in LA County. So we can never, ever grab the gun and do any retesting. The LAPD made sure to seal the gun so that there would be no retesting on this gun when we went into court. So as you can see, Tory Lanez was pretty much being railroaded from the start. How is it that there's no forensic proof that Tory Lanez fired a weapon at Meg Thee Stallion, but nonetheless, he's serving 10 years right now? It's because he exposed the game. And Jay-Z, alongside of Rosie Perez and the rest of Rock Nation, lined him up. They lined him up, and they used Meg Thee Stallion to do it. She sold her soul. She was in a slave deal with Jay Prince, in which she mysteriously got out of in order to join the ranks of the satanic elite. And Tory Lanez's biggest mistake was being involved with that succubus. And they tried to line them up because they are connected.
And we put these things in and said, hey, like, we're factually innocent due to these facts. The court said, you know what? We're going to consider that because there's good reason appearing on what you're saying. My judge, Judge Harringford, Judge David B. Harringford, I watched this man literally look at me and say, so let's just say I'll take the DNA evidence to be real, and I'll say that it's true. He said this on record, by the way. It's in my transcripts. He says, I'll take the DNA evidence to be true, but I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, even if I take it to be true, that's not a big factor in his case. That's not why he got convicted. Brother, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know, the big factor is, you know, the hidden hand was operating. The big factor was he was to be silenced. He was to be taken out. And they waited a good amount of time. And they waited until racial tension started building up in America. And they said to themselves, you know what? Right now is the time. We're going to pay this, and this is all alleged. We're going to pay this Mexican cartel member, a nobody, a no name, and we're going to throw a few dollars in his pocket because he's a lifer anyway. He can get a little more commissary. And this is going to spark race wars up in the prison because that's how California is. If somebody from the Mexican cartel stabs a black person, oh, the black mafia family, they're going to war. That's how it works. And then you have a high profile black man getting stabbed by a Mexican cartel member with priors. Listen, this is what they wanted. They want Mexicans to be turned in on blacks and blacks to be turned against Mexicans. They love that type of dysfunction. The truth is, we all the children of Israel, blacks and Mexicans. We all have been placed in captivity under this system, and we should be sticking together. But the powers that be want to see that type of internal fighting. I'm telling you right now, Tory Lanez is innocent. The only thing he's guilty of is being a part of the industry, dealing with certain women and talking too much, telling too much of what he knows. Let's go.
My nigga, what the fuck is you talking about, my nigga?
Yeah. No, there's more evidence. There's more evidence that I'm going to bring forth to the table. And you're only going to get this evidence on Nubreed Global Truth. But before I get there, y'all going to have to run them likes way up. Y'all going to have to run them likes up to show that you all appreciate these breakdowns. And we can get to it. Ellie Knowledge says they try to make it a racist thing, but the truth is this is about Tory. Well, what they're trying to make it about is absolutely, you said that correct. You definitely said that correct. I understand exactly what you mean. Now, let me pull up this other source here. Because I'm telling y'all right now, Tory Lanez was a failed blood sacrifice. Now, we've already heard the father of Tory Lanez rant and rave about how Jay-Z is recycling the souls of these young men, how Jay-Z railroaded Tory Lanez in court. But there's more, brothers and sisters. There is more. Now, y'all give me one moment. Now, first of all, we got to go to the news. We got to understand much as we can understand about this person who assaulted Tory Lanez. Rapper Tory Lanez allegedly, rapper Tory Lanez, alleged prison attacker, is a man with previous convictions for assault on an inmate. Los Angeles authorities said Tuesday that a man who attacked rapper Tory Lanez in a California prison is an inmate serving a life sentence for second-degree murder, who was previously convicted for an in-prison assault with a deadly weapon. Lanez was in fair condition a day after the attack in a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi, where he's serving a 10-year sentence for shooting hip-hop star Meg Thee Stallion in the feet. Pedro Cardon Michael. Now, who is this guy? Pedro Calderon Michael, spokesman for the State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, said in the email. It goes on to say, authorities did not specify Lanez was attacked, but a message posted on the rapper Instagram account Monday evening said Lanez was stabbed 14 times, both lungs was collapsed. Prison officials identified the alleged attacker as Santino Casio, 42. He has been put in restricted housing pending an investigation by the prison and Kern County District Attorney's office. Hey, listen, let me say this. Let me just put this out here. Tory needs to be in protective custody. He needs to be in protective custody. I know a lot of brothers be looking at that like it's a sucker move and, you know, you are losing some type of street cred and whatever it is. Listen, Tory Lanez should be in PC. He should have been in PC. His career is way too illustrious and the man is way too valuable as far as his career goes to be in general population. I mean, seriously. And some people saying he was in PC. No, he wasn't. Tory Lanez has been in the yard. Tory Lanez has been locked up with the rest of the inmates. I even heard on his album when he was bragging about how he gets love from all the blacks and Mexicans. He said that in his song. It was on Amethyst. He said, look, I get love from all the blacks and Mexicans in the yard. So make no mistake about it. Tory Lanez he's mixed in the crowd, but at this point, he has to understand he has enemies. He has people coming after him. Tory Lanez is being targeted by the high ups because he's up in general population. Tory Lanez should have never been in there for 10 years to begin with. This is his alleged first charge. Tory Lanez does not have an extensive rap sheet. Why is he serving 10 whole years unless somebody's trying to railroad his career? Meanwhile, he's putting out albums from behind bars that are better than most artists out there. And every time they cover this stabbing, they reinforce Meg Thee Stallion's trauma and pain. Y'all don't think that's an accident they're doing that? Tory Lanez was not supposed to survive what just happened, but the Most High protected him. But it's time that he gets on PC. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Let's go to the news. Oh, my bad, y'all. Hold up.
The rapper serving time for shooting Megan Thee Stallion is in stable condition tonight after allegedly being stabbed by another inmate in the prison yard in California. Sources say Tory Lanez was rushed to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. He's serving that 10-year sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion as they left an LA party back in July 2020. Priya Shrithar is joining us now. I mean, people know Tory Lanez. What happened here?
Hey, Holly, that's right. Well, we don't have a lot of information about this just yet, but what we do know from the spokesperson for that California Correctional Institute is that this attack occurred at around 7:20 this morning. They didn't give further information about exactly how Tory Lanez was stabbed or what the potential motivation could be or where he was stabbed, but they did say that staff immediately rendered medical aid. He was transported to a local hospital, and he is suffering from non-life-threatening death-defying injuries. However, several other media outlets, including the Los Angeles Times, are reporting that this was another inmate who used a shank to stab him several times. Now, just to jog your memory about...
Now, y'all got to understand how the industry works. Once you become part of the industry, they own your life in all perpetuity. There is no slaying of a high-profile celebrity without somebody giving the green light. It just does not work that way. And the gangs are connected to the LAPD, which are also connected to the Freemasons. And y'all think it's by chance that while Tory was recording his album, a riot broke out. No. There's perps in there. There's people who's going to get their time cut for spying on Tory. Listen, it gets real. Let's go.
What he was exactly doing in jail in the first place. As you mentioned, he is serving a 10-year sentence. He was convicted back in December of 2022 on 3 different felony charges: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Now, this all stems from an incident back in July of 2020 when Megan Thee Stallion actually testified at the trial that he, after they were departing a party at Kylie...
Now, I want y'all to notice how the media consistently reinforces the trauma that Meg Thee Stallion allegedly endured. This man is fighting for his life right now. And what the media is trying to do is get you all not to have any sympathy for this man. That's what they're trying to do right now. They don't want any sympathy for Tory Lanez because he survived something he wasn't supposed to make it. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the news is supposed to be saying Tory Lanez was murdered in prison by a Mexican cartel member, and the prison is going on a riot. There's a race war in the jail. That's what the news is supposed to read. But guess what? The Most High had other plans. Tory Lanez survived. It was a blood sacrifice ritual that failed. They failed. And I'm going to tell you, when they fail these rituals, there's consequences for this. There's consequences for this. Their predecessors, their handlers, their management, they're going to be dealing with those who orchestrated this. Better believe there's some people sitting around watching the news right now upset that Tory Lanez is still alive. Why? Because he has a praying father. Why? Because the Most High said, you know what? We're going to have that man here for his children. You know what? The Most High said, no, we're not going to let the industry do Lanez like they did Angie Stone or Whitney Houston or Prince or Michael Jackson or whoever else that they slew by way of murder for hire. Because that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. In the industry, you don't just get taken out unless it's murder for hire. Let's go.
Kylie Jenner's house. They were walking towards an SUV that they should have been riding back together in when he apparently shot at her feet and told her to dance in the driveway. Now, since then...
Yeah, we've all heard that story, but why does the news keep reinforcing that? How about the fact that Meg Thee Stallion was running just weeks? I'm talking about running track and field, full-fledged like a damn Kentucky Derby horse. How was she running like a Kentucky Derby horse only days later after the shooting? And that was caught on camera. If he allegedly shot at her feet. How was she twerking online with maximum twerkosity? Feet gripping the ground as she's bent all over on stage, feet just gripping the ground, palming the damn ground with her feet if she got shot in her feet. But they want you to feel sorry for Meg while this man is fighting for his life. Why? Because she's a Rock Nation artist. And Rock Nation got power like that. Let's go.
The rapper has attempted to appeal for another trial. He hasn't been successful in those attempts, but actually earlier this year, Hallie, Megan Thee Stallion said that he was using surrogates to harass her.
Now, and then also she kept throwing insult to injury, claiming that he was using online surrogates to harass her, as if this man got time to be harassing her from prison. He's serving a 10-year bid, recording fire albums, trying to serve his time and get out, as if he got time to hire online trolls to stalk Meg Thee Stallion. So she's going to further damage his eligibility to have a retrial or be released on good behavior, any of that. She's going to ruin his chances of an appeal by claiming that he's hiring online trolls to watch her. And y'all don't think that Rock Nation has something to do with this. Rock Nation has so much power, they can sway the news media. Let's go.
From jail, and a judge actually issued a protective order for her until the year 2030. Hallie?
Now hear what she just said. What did they say about until the year 2030? Listen to this.
Harass her from jail, and a judge
claiming that he's harassing her from jail. Come on now, y'all.
Actually issued a protective order.
She issued out a protective order on Tory Lanez from prison, y'all. And then shortly after, he gets poked up.
For her until the year 2030. Hallie?
Wow. So there's until 2030, there is a restraining order on Tory Lanez. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if this is not a clear case of someone that they're trying to railroad and destroy, I don't know what is. But I have to cover the news, man. I had to let y'all know what's going on, man. I got more material coming. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. Consider becoming a Patreon. Perhaps I can get more deep with this topic. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support my material at nubreedglobaltruth.com, man. Thank y'all. Peace.